Wanna go closer? Wanna go closer?
check, 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 mic check. All right, let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 3 ones if you guys are ready to start this stream. And give me 2 2s if you can hear me well. Let me know. All right, seeing a couple of 111s and 2 2s. Okay, perfect. Seems like there's not much of a delay. All right. All right, so I think we are starting. Seems like we're doing good, so I think we are going to get things started right about now. All right, let's turn that down. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and here we go. And we're live. Okay, we are live. All right, let me know again in the chat if everything seems good. I think I can probably zoom out just a little bit more. That should be fine. Don't need to see the top of my head anyway. So yeah, good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, depending on where you are. Let me pull up the chat. I guess I'm slightly unprepared today. There we go. All right. Zanman, The Random Circus, Kawaii Life, Antonio, Cat Fox, Alter Ego Bro, Lonzo, Channel 4 Kids. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to the live stream. So, this live stream was kind of definitely unexpected because I was not expecting at all to really be doing this. And you know why? You know why I wasn't really expecting to be doing this at all, because like this news kind of just came out of nowhere. Now, I will say that I was going to possibly do a video instead of a live stream, but I kind of had some concerns, mainly because like I wasn't 100% sure if I wasn't 100% sure. Hold on a sec. Right, there we go. I wasn't 100% sure if like I would be able to do a video in time. In the mornings, like, because I'm still kind of suffering through a little bit of a cough right now. It's good, it's everything, you know, but like my voice is, I'd say it's 98, 99% there. But in the mornings, like my voice is still kind of like, you know, it cracks a lot, you know, like I'm still coughing. I kind of cough more in the morning, so the freaking like morning voice is not exactly great. Can't speak too much. But either way, wow, we got about like 24 viewers in here. Make sure to hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it up to about like 15 likes, hopefully. But yeah, but like I was going to possibly like get a video or make a video. Well, that's the thing. I was still like very tired, obviously. Like I woke up and then I scroll a little bit through Twitter, and then boom, I see Warner Brothers Discovery might be shelving Coyote Vs Acme again. And so of course I have to talk about this, which is incredibly stupid and ridiculous. But yeah, so that is that's the situation. So again, I was gonna make a video, but I think it was just kind of better to do a live stream and kind of chat with you guys. Also, I'm trying to get out of the house in about like 2 hours, or around 2 hours, because I am going to be going to Disneyland later on today, and so I'm trying to beat the traffic, because on good days when there's no traffic going to Disney, it takes me about like roughly 30 minutes to get there, whereas if I'm there during rush hour, it may take me about like close to 50 minutes to an hour. So I'm like legitimately trying to excuse me, I'm legitimately trying to kind of beat the traffic and get there at a good time. Alonso says, "Hope you have fun at Disneyland." Thank you. I'm hoping. I would like for them to put off fireworks tonight because I keep trying to catch fireworks the past couple of weeks, and it's been windy in Anaheim, and so the fireworks unfortunately end up getting canceled. Yeah, it's like when the fireworks kind of blow towards the freeway, they can't do them. So yeah, but either way, yeah. So let's see. There's been a couple of other. Shane says, "Good afternoon, Josh. I'm on my bus heading back home from school, and I got on YouTube and saw this. So here we are, IG." Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably one of the earliest, at least in recent times. I think it's the earliest that I've really done a stream, because usually I do one at like around maybe 3 or 4 o'clock my time, because sometimes that's the best time I can do them. You know what I mean? I can't do that this time, obviously, but I made it work. I mean, well, I can't say I made it work. It works. You know, like I'm not doing anything until I get out of here at like around 2 o'clock. So yeah, it's excuse me. So like that's kind of, you know, the situation here. I think I'm slightly a little bit too tired. I mean, I'm not tired, but like as you can tell, I am a little bit like low energy right now. So yeah, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the stream. Do I even need to say anything when it comes to this stupid company? Do I really need to? No. I mean, it was a big surprise to me, honestly, that when it came to Coyote Vs Acme, that they're thinking about shelving it again. After everything that's happened, right? With them announcing before, or letting or it was known to us that the movie was going to essentially be shelved and written off for tax purposes. There was public outcry. There was also outcry from the filmmakers community, right? And so they quickly reversed that decision and said, "Hey, you know what, never mind. We're going to allow these other streamers to possibly to see the film." And we're going to get to that in a moment. Trust me, okay? We are going to allow the other streamers to see the film, and we're going to potentially let them bid so they can buy this movie. So they did that specifically because they know how much backlash they've gotten. And also, a lot of filmmakers were going to cancel their meetings and I guess possibly cancel some deals with Warner Brothers Discovery over this, because this is like, what, their third, fourth, or fifth time, I've lost count at this point, of taking a movie that's already completed or is finished filming and they write it off for tax purposes. It's been happening way too many times with this company. And so because of that, obviously, a lot of people were saying, okay, enough is enough, all right? We're putting our foot down. And so that's why I think, at least to me, that's why they essentially kind of just reverse the decision. And so to see them literally going back and saying, yeah, we're going to do this again, write it off again, is like literally insane to me. I just don't really get the idea behind any of this. It's stupid. Now, in this stream, I do have an article that I would like to read over. I read it already earlier, and it's honestly kind of insane reading, you know, like reading the article and kind of understanding what's going on. And yeah, I want to read it over with you guys. If you guys haven't seen the article, which most of you guys most likely haven't, we're going to go over the article in a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and answer a couple of your, well, not answer your questions though, but you know what I mean. Hold on, let me just double check something. Trying to just check on like the stream and everything. Okay, I was just trying to double check and see like if like what the quality of the stream was. I wasn't really fully sure. Okay, so it is like 720. So it looks, yeah, it looks good. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go through a couple of the comments before we get into the article read that I want to do. Kawhi says there are shareholders that can stop Zaslav and fire him, but it's not certain yet. I mean, yeah, you know, shareholders, they can always vote. Like say Disney, for example. Like Disney shareholders can vote on, say, you know, they could vote on, like, say, nominations for, like, new board of directors, right? Or whether they want to keep the CEO in there. So they definitely can if they wanted to. Will they? I'm not 100% sure. But, like, you know, it kind of, I guess you could say, really freaking depends, you know? But they can have a say in this, you know? Especially if what they're... Because they're... Warner Brothers Discovery is going to have their earnings call very soon. I think it's going to be in about, like, a couple of weeks. I think it's supposed to be, like, on the 23rd or the 24th or something like that. And, yeah, you know, like, if the earnings call doesn't sound great, you know what I mean? Eventually, the shareholders are going to have to be like, okay, this guy clearly is not cutting it. We're going to have to do something. Like, we may have to get rid of him and try to find, like, another CEO or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the whole thing there. GTK474 says, apparently before the merger, Zaslav ruined Discovery Channel's edutainment shows to reality shows mostly. Yeah, I could believe it. I could believe it. I never really watched a lot of, like, Discovery, to be honest. You know, so I wouldn't necessarily have known. I mean, well, I know a couple of things. I guess, like, say with TLZ or, TLC, what the hell? I'm kind of out of it right now. But TLC, like, how that's kind of changed crazily. I think Animal Planet as well. Is Animal Planet even part of Discovery? I think it is. But yeah, Animal Planet, like, I think Animal Planet is part of Discovery. But either way, like, I remember Animal Planet, like, they changed a lot. You know what I mean? Like, they used to have, like, very educational shows about animals, and now it's just constant reality shows. I don't even think I have Animal Planet anymore, because I literally don't care about that channel. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know what I mean? Cat Fox says, Congressman Hakeem Castrox, I think, says, he called out David Zaslav's BS last time. Hopefully he sees this. It's definitely possible. You never know. I mean, considering that the government has essentially, you know, called them out on this before, then, like, yeah, they might do something about this. You never know, because I mean, it's just the fact that, like, you spend all of this money on a film, you know, spending, you know, paying all these people and having them do this service, and then to be like, nah, we're not gonna release it. We're just gonna get rid of it. We're gonna delete it, and it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So much so that if the government has to intervene, that's literally crazy. You know? Listen, Kawhi says Animal Planet kind of still has animal content, but it's not as much as it used to be. And then they says, you would think that those bids would have saved the movie, but nope, they decided to just not do these anymore to see who will have the film. You know, again, we're gonna get to that. We are 100% going to get to that, because with the whole thing, like with the whole bidding wars and whatnot, what I found out from this article, you know, is honestly kind of insane coming from Warner Brothers Discovery and everything. Like it's crazy to me, honestly. The random circus, Zaslav should be the main villain of a new Looney Tunes movie once he's fired. Absolutely. He should be the villain in almost like every single freaking movie that comes out of Warner Brothers once he's gone. Or yeah, like he just, this dude seriously just needs to go. It's ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, GTK474, Batgirl, Scoob Holiday Haunt, Driftwood, Coyote Vs Acme, etc. Again, we are 100% going to get to that, okay? Because of that, again, it's just very ironic of this guy. You know what I mean? Especially with some of the things he said earlier about wanting to crack the code on kids and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, I have some words. X-Men says, I don't understand why he would just shove it again. Paramount could have done a theatrical release if it wasn't for Warner Brothers rejecting it. Exactly. And again, we are going to get to that. I think I'm going to do like a couple more. Alter Ego says, David Zaslav is literally everything wrong with entertainment, with the entertainment industry. I fully agree with that. Like, it's... Again, it's crazy that they know how many people outcried and said stuff about this entire situation, about this movie, about how many people wanted to see it, audience scores and everything, and he's still saying, nah, we're gonna shelve it. Him and some other executives, boneheaded executives. It's crazy. Excuse me. Kawaii Life Antonio says both Iger and Zaslav aren't good on their jobs as CEOs. Now, see, here's the thing with Bob Iger. Damn, we got 33 coherent viewers. That's crazy. I think that's the highest I've ever gotten on this channel. But yeah, here's the thing with Bob Iger, okay? Bob Iger, at the very least, what you could say with Bob Iger is that he was able to take Disney to new heights for a while. He did some good for the company. Is he doing that now? No, not necessarily. I'd say we're at like the final stages of his CEO leadership, and it's not great. so that's the difference with Iger and Zaslav. It's at least with Iger, when he came in excuse me, when he came in to basically, you know, lead Disney. And I'm not talking about when he came back in 2022. I'm talking about way back then in like what, 2005, 2006. I don't remember when he became the CEO of Disney, but when that happened, he was doing some pretty good things for Disney. Like, you know what I mean? So that's one thing that you can say about Iger, is that he has done good for the company. He's not doing great now, but he has done good for the company. Whereas with Zaslav, no, he hasn't. Warner Brothers Discovery, or just Warner Brothers in general has been in such like a nosedive ever since he's became CEO and the leader of this company. It's been a freaking mess, really, ever since he's been CEO. So because of that, like, you can kind of compare them in terms of what they're doing now, but even then, I still think Iger is doing a much better job running Disney than what you can even say Zaslav is remotely doing with this company. You know what I mean? Again, Iger is not doing a great job right now, and I do think that we need a shakeup in the top half of Disney, where like new leadership, new people that are part of the board of directors, and you know, I do think that we literally need a shakeup, because what's currently happening right now with Disney is not working. But yeah, David Zaslav, excuse me, it's much worse than Iger. I can guarantee you that. Excuse me. Channel 4 Kids says, do you know that Cartoonito is being shortened for 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 on the weekdays? You know, I was gonna make a video about that, but I also decided that I was going to wait to make a video about that. And the reason why is because there's a little bit of a confusion there. We're not 100% sure if, like, because, yeah, We Baby Bears, which I think is kind of a weird move, they are gonna start airing at 8:30, but we're not 100% sure, I think, if that means that Cartoon Network is taking over that time slot, or if it means that they're going to have We Baby Bears air as part of Cartoonito. That we're not 100% sure on, so that's why, when it comes to me, I'm gonna wait a little bit to make a video about that. But yeah, if that's something that they're gonna do, like, if they're gonna have Cartoonito end at 8:30 and it's only gonna be an hour long, then why are they even keeping this block up? That kind of just, if that's what they're doing, then that makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I have, like, legitimately no idea. You know what I mean? Then, yeah, like, it's, so I'm 100% going to be, excuse me, I'm 100% going to be, waiting to make a video about that before I do happen to, because I just want to wait and see what happens with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not 100% sure, like, what's going on. You know, especially considering that, like, we still, like, the fact that we still have Cartoonito, and if they are, like, you know, squeezing it to 1 hour, I would say get rid of it if they're gonna go this direction. But considering that they're still kind of keeping it, and even then they're also kind of making, like, schedule changes, it's just confusing. I'm not 100% sure what they're doing, but, like, I don't know. It's interesting. Excuse me. All right, there was one. I think there was, like, one more comment I wanted to go over before I start the reading. Kawaii says, Tom also had good plans, but it also led to the return to live action content on Cartoon Network. Well, technically no, because the shows that were announced under Cartoon Network, right? Those were gonna just be going on HBO Max. Like say Family Mashup and Tweety's Mysteries was never really, like, confirmed to actually make its way onto the actual channel of Cartoon Network. It was going to be produced by them, but it wasn't exactly confirmed to be going to Cartoon Network. And then there was, like, other live action shows that were announced, and those were not going to be going to Cartoon Network. It was going to be strictly on HBO Max. So I think, like, the live action content, as far as I know, we weren't necessarily going to get actual live action shows coming back to the channel. And then maybe it was gonna happen. I wasn't quite sure. It could have been like a weekend kind of thing. I don't really know, right? But yeah, Tom Ashkine, like, truly had some fairly good, like, plans for Cartoon Network, and I wish that we could have seen it come to full fruition. You know what I mean? Because it's, yeah, like, I really wish that we could have seen it come to life more than what we were able to get, because it was so bad to see the channel moving into that, like, into that direction with what he was wanting to do. And then, like, 2 years into it, well, at least, like, 2 years into his leadership, and then a year practically into the channel starting to go through those changes, everything was practically canceled because, boom, we are having a merger and we have a new person and we're letting him go and blah, blah, blah. It's, yeah, it sucks. Like, it just really freaking sucks. And again, I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. Merging Warner Brothers, a movie studio, with Discovery, which is a documentary / reality television studio, essentially, was was an incredibly stupid idea. You know what I mean? Like, and to have, or it could have worked, I think, but the fact that Discovery was the one that practically has like the bigger stakes in this company and not Warner Brothers, where David Zaslav was the one that was the new CEO of this entire entity, was absolutely ridiculous. It should have been the other way around, where Warner Brothers was like had the higher stakes in this company, and you had the CEO of Warner Brothers taking over. I think Warner Brothers, like, if they had the higher stakes in this, they probably would have done this way better than having Discovery taking over. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, GTK474 says Discovery should have merged with A&E networks instead if possible. Yeah, that probably would have been a better idea, I guess. I don't know, to be fully honest. Probably would have been, but yeah. Kawaii Life Antonio says exactly. It would have worked better if Warner Brothers taking over Discovery would have worked compared to the other way around. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it just would have made way more sense than to have Discovery, which I would probably argue would have been the smaller company from Warner Brothers. You know what I mean? Taking over. But it is what it is, I guess. Could something like that possibly be fixed in the future? I don't know. Maybe not. We just have no idea. Could they ever be disbanded and Warner Brothers is just back to their old, like, they're just back to being their own company and Discovery's back to being their own company? I'm not even sure about that either. Like, I would like for that to happen, but I have, like, literally no idea. It's crazy. Cloud says, I feel like some people are overreacting every time Cartoon Network announces a live action show. I mean, in my opinion, as long as Cartoon Network is making great quality cartoon shows, I don't care if Cartoon Network is making live action shows. I never really cared for the fact that Cartoon Network have live action shows on their channel. Even back in the day when they were doing C and Real. I can understand, obviously, why people didn't like it, but I never necessarily cared for that. You know what I mean? But, I mean, it's... it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure Cartoon Network would rather that they don't have any more live-action shows on their channel. The thing is that it is just a little difficult. The reason why I say it's a little difficult is because, like, at the end of the day, animation not only takes a long time, but is also very expensive. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of why when it came to Cartoon Network back in, like, 2008 or 2007, whatever, when you did start seeing the live-action shows coming, the reason why, at least this is my understanding of it, the reason why they partially did that was because they were wanting to provide more content, but also make more shows, but cheap. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, a lot of the shows that they were producing were reality show types of content, right? Those are much more cheaper to make than a scripted show. Like, even shows like, say, I think it was called Supernatural and Tower Prep, right? Those were probably more expensive to create, right? But the reality shows, since we were kind of getting a lot of them at the time, those were definitely, like, more cheaper to create, and that's why they were making it. And this, I think, also came at the helm of the writer's strike back in the day as well, I think. I could be wrong on that, but but that was essentially, you know, why it kind of happened. Yeah, it sucked. You know what I mean? But it was kind of an economical thing, I think. And so, especially with 2024 and with the strikes that happened and whatnot, I'm kind of curious as to, like, what Cartoon Network is going to do this year, you know? I don't know. Are they going to do anything this year? It's possible. I would much rather that they at least, like, try to acquire some shows, you know what I mean, from overseas or whatever, and air them on Cartoon Network. At the very least, give us some new content or whatever. I don't know. But, you mean unnatural history. What did I say? Supernatural. That's what I said. How did I mix? I didn't even know Supernatural was a thing. What the hell? But yeah, unnatural history. That's what I meant. That's the shows that I meant. Yeah. And Level Up. They also had Level Up and even Incredible Crew. I remember that. But yeah, those were probably more expensive to make than like Dude, What Would Happen or Destroy, Build, Destroy or Hole in the Wall, if you guys remember those shows. So yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, that's kind of, I think that's why those shows were basically there. You know, I think I like read up on like why Stuart Snyder was doing some of this stuff. I don't fully remember that, but it was something like kind of later on, and it was something I read like a while ago, and so I don't remember all the details, but yeah. Bacon says Jade Armor got canceled for a U.S. release, so I'm not sure if Cartoon Network can grab anything else this year. Yeah, you know, Jade Armor is now essentially just airing all of their episodes on YouTube. And so if you want to check out Jade Armor, which was supposed to be on Cartoon Network, just find it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Like, literally, Jade Armor is airing all of their episodes on YouTube. That's what's happening right now with the show. English dubbed, of course, yes. And, yeah, I think they're looking for deals with other companies or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but that's kind of the situation right now with Jade Armor. Doesn't surprise me at all. Not one bit, you know, that Cartoon Network no longer is going to have the rights to the show. I mean, it's Warner Brothers Discovery. Should we really expect anything good to come out of this company? No. But anyway, let's get into the topic, and let's go over the Actually, hold on, just a very quick second. I want to set that up. There we go. But yeah, let's get into the article. All right. And I think I'm going to probably have, because with the setup I have right now, I'm not going to be able to see the chat at the same time since I'm going to be reading the article. So I think I'm going to have the chat on my phone just so I'm able to, you know, read some of the chat while I'm kind of going through everything. Okay. So the final days of Coyote Vs Acme offers rejections and a Roadrunner Race Against Time exclusive. Warner was seeking $75 to $80 million, but rejected offers from Netflix, Amazon, and Paramount, insiders tell The Wrap. All right, so this is going to be an interesting article, and there's going to be certain things that you guys don't know about that I didn't know about when it came to this, and it's not going to make you too happy, I think. Some of you guys have already kind of mentioned a couple of the things, like, say, Sasselhoff not even watching the movie. Yeah, the dude hasn't even seen the film, and he just wants to can it. Like, anyway. Anyway, so yeah, let's kind of get into, but also the whole thing about like rejecting offers from Netflix, Amazon, and Paramount. It's very ironic, honestly, and we're gonna get to that in this article because you're gonna understand why they didn't take any offers from Netflix, Amazon, and Paramount. So let's go ahead and get into it. In early January, let's do this. In early January, Coyote vs. Acme producer Chris DeFaria got a startling phone call from a Warner Brothers executive. They just want to get this behind them, the executive told him. They want to close the books. In the words of Roadrunner, Meep. The movie, the live-action animated hybrid that stars Will Forte and the Looney Tunes gang, had been earmarked for demolition on November 9th, but following the announcement that the movie would be canceled, a firestorm of outrage and indignation erupted. It was heightened by a friends and family screening that had already been planned before the cancellation announcement was made. The screening brought more goodwill and even louder public outcry. What was so exciting was that it felt like the film captured the voice of the Looney Tunes that we love in a way none of the other feature versions have ever done. Paul Scheer, I guess, who was at the screening, told The Wrap. The last movie to feature the characters, 2021 Space Jam: A New Legacy, was pillared by critics and lost money. It lost money. Hold on a sec. Yeah, so That's crazy how, like, Space Jam: A New Legacy was literally their last Looney Tunes movie to be released theatrically. And yeah, it wasn't really that well received. I don't think a lot of people ended up liking that movie. I never saw it. I wasn't interested. It just looked so stupid to me. It looked so much worse than the original Space Jam, which is kind of a weird movie in and of itself, though. But there's, I guess, somewhat of a charm to it. I haven't really seen a lot of that movie before. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen the movie, but it's been a long time since I've, like, fully returned to watching that film. So I can't really even say for certain. You know what I mean? I haven't necessarily, watched too much about Space Jam, so I'm not really that attached to it. You know what I mean? Kawhi says Warner Brothers is going to end up losing money if they keep doing this. Oh, absolutely. People are not going to want to work with them anymore, and for good reason. You know what I mean? Ice Cream Hero says, just make the movie already. You weren't going to make it before, and now you are getting money for it. It's not the matter of them not making the movie. It's the matter of the movie's already been made. It's fully finished. I would assume that, yeah, they've had screenings already of it. They're just not distributing it for whatever dumb reason. I literally have no idea why. In fact, I don't think anybody understands why. But that's kind of the situation, is that they're just not, for whatever reason, they're not basically publishing it, which is incredibly stupid. But anyway, let's kind of get back into it. Warner Brothers, reacting to the hubbub, walked back its initial decision. Instead of canceling the movie outright, the studio would give the filmmakers the chance to shop it around. If another studio wanted to pick it up, they could. Now, months later, Warner Brothers has had enough. The call to Defaria, I guess that's how you say his last name, made that crystal clear. And that's the crazy part about all this, right? Warner Brothers literally walked back its decision, right? And now they're about to make the same decision and saying, yeah, we're going to cancel this. We're not going to release this film. What sense does that make? That is so stupid. Like, I literally just don't understand that at all. Like, it just, yeah, it makes no sense. Like, you got backlash for doing the exact same thing that you're doing right now. What do you think is going to happen? Like, anyway, let's continue. With Warner Brothers Discovery's fourth quarter earnings call scheduled for February 23rd, Coyote Vs. Acme is running out of time. Many on the film's team feel that the studio will use the ending of the quarter to get the movie off the books for good. Coyote Vs. Acme is running up against something worse than a tunnel painted into the side of a mountain for a falling anvil. It will finally be silenced for a movie studio's balance sheet. And a truly inglorious end, a source close to the movie doesn't believe Warner Brothers would announce that they hadn't found a home for the movie. They would just unceremoniously delete it, never to be seen again. It's as if Warner Brothers Discovery just has a fetish for, like, getting rid of movies. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me, if you want me to be incredibly honest with you. They have a freaking weird-ass fetish for just saying, yep, the movie's done, guys. We're not gonna do anything with it. It's over. It's dead in the water. It's crazy. Hold on just for a very, very quick second. I'm kind of going back and forth with trying to keep up with the chat. Yeah, let's continue on with that there. There we are. Follow offers and rejections. So this is where it gets interesting. Following the death and potential resurrection of Coyote vs. Acme, there were screenings for interested parties. According to several people familiar with the situation, Netflix, Amazon, and Paramount screened the movie, which was received well, and submitted handsome offers. Paramount even proposed a theatrical release component to their acquisition of Coyote vs. Acme that would allow for Warner Brothers to save face and, more importantly, let audiences see the movie the way it was meant to be experienced. Warner Brother did not respond to requests for comment, blah, blah, blah. But Warner Brother, which stood to make $35 to $40 million on the tax write-down, wanted something in the ballpark of $75 to $80 million from the buyer. And what's more, they wouldn't allow the interested studios to counter Warner Brothers' offer. It was a take it or leave it situation, one that the other studios didn't even know they were entering into, insiders told The Wrap. So, Warner Brothers didn't even want any of the studios to counter offer. They said, we want this amount of money for the movie, if take it or leave it. None of you guys are offering up $75 to $80 million. Well, I guess nobody wants the movie. We're gonna just get rid of it. I mean, what's ironic about this, at least to me, in fact, you know what, I'm gonna talk just for a little bit. So I'm gonna switch back to the live cam. So what is interesting about this, at least to me, right, is that they were more than willing to put this film up on the shelf for only $35 or $40 million. I think, if I can remember, the movie cost them about like $60 to $65 million to produce. They weren't even going to get like half of their money back. Or was it $70 million? I think it was $70 million. They weren't even going to get their money back, and they were just going to get half their money. $35 to $40 million. Now, studios are like, oh, hey, yeah, you know what? We want to give you guys an offer. Now they want to be stubborn about it and say $75 to $80 million or the deal's off. You guys were going to write off this movie, or you are going to write off this movie for $35 to $40 million. Where was the other $30 million or $40 million or whatever going to appear? You guys are literally, you're okay with only getting half of your money back instead of trying to get all of your money back? What sense does that make? That it's so stupid. Like, I don't understand that at all. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't understand that at all. Like, it literally, and again, it's ironic to me that they're being so stubborn, being like, okay, we want $75 to $80 million on this movie. We are not offering it. We are not going to accept anything else. I don't understand that whatsoever. What's even crazier about this is that they're gonna, let's say Warner Brothers were to sell it off to Paramount. Paramount was offering to do a theatrical release. Don't you think it would have made more sense not only to sell it to Paramount for a theatrical release, but to also have it in the deal where you guys get a certain percentage of the film's profits? You would have been making more money if the movie were to have been, like, let's say the movie were to have made like $500 million at the box office. Let's just put that number out there. Wouldn't it have been better that after selling the movie that you would have made a little bit of money coming from that? Like a certain percentage, so you could have also had more money come. I don't understand this company, dude. I literally do not understand Warner Brothers Discovery. What's crazier about this, I've said this in like a previous video I made, is the fact that other studios clearly see something with this movie. They saw the film, they liked the film, and they wanted to purchase the film. They obviously believe that this film would be good either for their streaming service or it would be good to put it in theaters for them. Paramount sees this as a potential good moneymaker at the box office. But somehow, Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't see that. And they're just willing to put the movie up on the shelf for a measly $35 to $40 million. Can someone in the chat please try to explain to me how that makes any sense? Like, Please explain to me how that makes sense, because I'm really struggling. I don't understand how anybody can come to that conclusion and say, yes, this is what we need to do, instead of trying to make even if like one of the studios were to offer you like $65 million instead of the $80 million that you're looking for, that's still more than what you would have got with the tax write-offs. Christ. Like, literally, just go to the studio that wants to put this movie in the theaters and work on a deal where you would get a certain percentage of the profits the movie would make. That would make more sense. Christ. Kawhi says, I have no idea why that even makes sense, because Zaslav just cares more about money and not on other projects. I literally don't understand how this is a good business decision at all. It's incredibly freaking stupid. All right, so let's go back and continue reading this article. Let's continue. Information about the potential sale of the project got to Eric Balza, I guess that's how you say his last name, an actor who provided the voice for several characters in the film. In late December, he felt so optimistic that he shared a photo from the movie and said, "See ya in 2024. Behind the scenes, though, the noose around the movie's neck was tightening. This was the image that he himself released. And then I think, like, if I can remember, I think it was like 2 days ago, I believe. He posted a video, not a video, he posted like a post, like one of the posters, I think, or maybe he created the poster, I don't fully remember. But he posted, like, I think one of the posters on, I think it was either his Instagram or his Twitter, and he was even talking about, oh, I'm really hopeful that this film could be released, or something like that. We're trying to look for his page. I wonder if he said anything just yet about this news. No, okay, so he hasn't said anything just yet. But yeah, this was literally 2 days ago. He's Eric says it's been 90. Hold on a sec. I'm again just gonna go back to because I probably am gonna show you the picture as well. So Eric says it's been 90 days since the shelving/unshelving of this film. I am still very hopeful we see this movie on the big screen where it belongs in the near future. He literally posted this 2 days ago, February 7th. And this was the picture that he posted. What? Oh, can you even... Yeah, something like that. You can kind of see it. But that was the picture that he posted. I don't think it was the actual, like... It could have been one of the movie posters. I mean, obviously you saw it say #release Coyote Vs Acme. But it could have been one of the, like, concepts for the poster or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But he was obviously optimistic and hoping that the movie would get released. I have no idea what he is remotely feeling. He has to be upset about the fact that this movie might be shelved once again. You know what I mean? And it sucks because, like, he has to, regardless, like, I'm sure he'd be like, man, I would gladly never work for Warner Brothers again. But he's working on, like, some other, well, I don't know if Bugs Bunny Builders is still doing a second season, and if they did, it's probably finished already. And then also, The Day That the Earth Blew Up, which is another Looney Tunes movie, I think he worked on that as well. And I believe he's on Tiny Toons University. I think he plays a couple of characters on Tiny Toons University. I'm sure if he really wanted to, he would try to say, yeah, I'm not working with this company anymore. I quit, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not even sure if he could do that because he's voicing these characters. You know what I mean? It sucks because you can be upset with the company and whatnot, but if you're working on, like, a project of theirs or whatever, there's not exactly much that you can really do, you know? So it's, yeah. Kawhi says this is severely upsetting about that, as he was really optimistic about it. 100%. Yeah. Kawhi says there is also Bye Bye Bunny coming up if there will be any updates. You know, with Bye Bye Bunny, I would love for there to be an update on this movie. I would love, in general, for Bye Bye Bunny to still be a thing. I just have little to no hope or faith that Bye Bye Bunny is still going to be a thing, unfortunately. Remember, a lot of the production people that worked on Bye Bye Bunny, they were cut. There's still some people on the team, supposedly, but they cut back on the team of Bye Bye Bunny. So, I'm not really fully sure if we're going to see anything from Bye Bye Bunny. You know what I mean? Excuse me, unfortunately, which really sucks. Again, that would have been a cool, that would have been a cool, it would have been a different project because it was going to be like a musical type of movie. You know what I mean? But I just like, I don't know. I just don't have that much faith that something's going to happen. It wouldn't surprise me if they were to cut Bye Bye Bunny altogether. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't shock me at that point. I would hope not. But again, it literally just would not shock me in the slightest, unfortunately. All right, let's get back to it. Let's continue reading the article. Executives skipped the screening. What made the situation even more appalling is that, according to a source close to the project, the 4 Warner Bros. Executives responsible for making this decision, CEOs and co-chairpersons of Warner Bros. Motion Picture Group, Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, along with Warner Bros. Picture Animation President Bill what the heck is with these weird last names? An embattled CEO and president of Warner Bros. Discovery, David Zaslav, hadn't even seen the finished version of the movie. Zaslav never saw the movie at all. DeLuca and Abdi saw a director's cut, and Dama was the first saw the first audience preview. Significantly, Coyote Vs Acme was developed and greenlit by a previous regime. The only executive that worked on the movie that is still with the company is Jesse Ehrman, I guess. These executives, who trumpet a filmmaker first approach and have recently signed big deals with directors like Ryan Coogler and Paul Thomas Anderson, who conspicuously made their deals after the filmmaker-led backlash to Warner Brothers have subsided, were apparently prepared to trash a movie they never even watched. So, again, a couple of you guys have already mentioned this in the chat before, but they were going to just literally trash this. They're gonna trash this movie, and they haven't even seen the finished product. You haven't even seen the movie at all, and you just don't believe in it whatsoever, and you're just like, we're gonna get rid of it. I don't, how, that just makes no sense to me. I mean, how many times am I gonna say this in this damn stream? But like, it literally makes no sense to me that an executive, or even any of these executives that haven't seen the final film, or has never seen the film whatsoever, is just totally okay with saying, yeah, we're gonna get rid of it. Mysterious Doodoo Face says, this just shows you how much they love animation. Literally. It literally shows you what they think about animation. I mean, yeah, this is a animated / live action hybrid, sure. But still, that tells you all you need to know. It tells you absolutely everything you need to know. Cloud says, I feel like this movie took a shot to David Zaslav. That's why he canceled the movie. By the way, this is just a dumb theory, I know. I mean, they wouldn't be able to do that anyway because it was made before he even became CEO. But I don't know. Maybe he did feel as if it would be a shot to him or whatever. I have no idea. Ice Cream Hero says, if they do cancel it, I hope there's backlash again and they have to release it. The thing is, if they write it off for like tax purposes, I don't know if they can release it at all. You know what I mean? Even if they were to get backlash from it, from filmmakers, more people in the industry, and the fans, I don't know if they could re-release it, because if they already got the movie back, if they already got the money back, or well, the money back, if they already got paid like the $35 to $40 million for tax write-offs, then I think there's literally nothing that they can do in order to preserve the movie or even release it. By that time, once it's written off, I think it's just gone. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I don't think there would really be much that they can do for this film, which really freaking sucks, you know? But yeah, but it's like, it's honestly, it's just ridiculous. The fact that they haven't even seen the movie and they're just going to instantly get rid of it. Or again, this movie stars John Cena. Don't forget, it stars John Cena, right? And somehow they don't think this movie is going to make them any good money at the box office. They see how many people want to see this movie. They know how many people want to see the film. They know that it's got good audience scores. They know that people who've seen it are raving about the film. And yet somehow they are still saying, nah, we're gonna shelve it. But keep in mind, Velma is getting a second season and is coming out this year on Max. A show that nobody freaking likes. Yet we're still gonna get more Velma. That has very bad audience scores, obviously. Just think about that. That's what Warner Brothers Discovery is. Now, yes, Kawaii, Velma was planned for 2 seasons in the first place. That definitely is true. Still could have canceled it, though. Very well still could have canceled it. Just saying. I mean, seriously, though, nobody freaking likes that show. It's a horrible show. And I hope season 2 of Velma just, like, crashes immensely. Like, I hope people don't hate watch the show, because if that causes the show to get a 3rd season, we're done for. Like, we're screwed if that's the case. All right, let's continue on with the article. Hold on a sec. There we go. Okay. Even so, the reason for Coyote Vs. Acme's cancellation remains damnably unknown, even to those who made the movie. Publicly, Warner Brothers blamed the decision on a shifting of global strategy to focus on theatrical releases, and initially indicated it would take a tax write-off on the film, which is based on a New Yorker article by Ian Fraser from 1990. The problem, it seemed, was the movie was not strong enough for a theatrical release and didn't fit anyone's streaming strategy in the Warner Brothers Discovery universe. So somehow they say that so who exactly said that it wasn't strong enough for a theatrical release? When again, Paramount wanted to put this movie in theaters. Paramount literally offered a theatrical release. They think it's strong enough, but you guys said no. And you wonder why, and let me check this up actually right now. Warner Bros. Stock. Warner Brothers Discovery's stock is, I might have to go on a, yeah, let me do that. Warner Brothers Discovery's stock $9.63 per share. That's not good. That is not good. I mean, look, and even if we go to, say, like, Paramount Plus stocks, right? Because I think they're kind of, like, second low or something. Paramount stock, that's $12.90. So that's not great either. But Warner Brothers Discovery is $9 per share. That's not good. And it's been going down ever since. Like, yeah, it's been going down ever since. At the beginning of the year, it was literally around, like, $11 per share. And now it's $9 per share. Which, again, it's not great. Not great. Not great at all. So, yeah. I honestly, it needs to be lower than that. That's what they deserve. It needs to be lower than that. Because Warner Brothers Discovery is that dumb. I really want to just see them crash and burn. I'm not even kidding. Crash and burn until the executives at the top make that hard decision and say, yes, we need to get rid of David Zaslav. Or the shareholders. How are shareholders even remotely okay with the fact that their numbers continue to go down? I don't get it. I literally don't get it, man. It's crazy to me. Just very quickly. All right. Excuse me. Cloud says, I don't have hope for that because look what happened to Cartoon Network. Yeah, Cartoon Network. Again, I don't watch Cartoon Network anymore, and I barely even make videos about that channel anymore because there's no point. There's literally just no point. Gillian says that is one really big problem and a never-ending nightmare. Yeah, it just continues to go down. Like, there's no sign of it going up. There's not an upward trend in their stocks. So they're just constantly losing money or losing... The company is just losing value. They're not gaining value. They're just constantly losing value. Kawaii Life Antonio says Paramount offered them that and Warner Brothers just decided not to do that. They seriously need to stop with these write-offs and they are not good ideas to do that. Absolutely. Ice Cream Hero says, I hope there is a chance that it comes out. I was really looking forward to seeing it. You know, here's the thing. Apparently, like, there is a possible chance that it could still be purchased by some of these other streamers. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. It's just more so that, like, the streamers are not giving them the money that they're asking for. So now my question is, with Netflix and Amazon and Paramount, are any of those companies going to remotely, like, whatever? I mean, the thing is, they didn't even know that they were going to have to literally do $75 or $80 million and not have the ability to counteroffer. They didn't know that they were gonna that they couldn't counteroffer, which is insane. But, like, I have to wonder also in that regard, like, will any of those companies say, you know what, people want to see this movie, let's save this movie, we'll give them 85 or 83 $77 million to save this movie. I have to kind of wonder if we'll see any of them do that between now and when they say, yeah, the movie's just gone. You know what I mean? I'm not 100% sure, really. I would like to hope, you know, that there is a possibility that we could see them, like, see a streamer save the film. But I don't know. we'll see. That's the most I can really say is we'll see. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's there's just no way of knowing when it comes to Discovery, to Warner Brothers Discovery. There's just literally no way of knowing at this point. All right, back. We're gonna continue reading the article. But there was a president. Okay. When Warner Brothers announced that Batgirls, a $90 million superhero movie based on a beloved DC Comics property, would be deleted from existence, a new avenue opened up for the studio. According to a source close to Coyote Vs Acme, getting rid of a wholly finished movie became an acceptable means of dealing with the problem. Okay. When they weren't sure what to do with Coyote vs. Acme, which originally had a release date later claimed by Barbie, the option to simply disappear it was taken for at least a few days. What makes the situation with Coyote vs. Acme more baffling is that, unlike Batgirl, the film consistently received great scores from test audiences. Several Warner Brothers executives have gone out of their way to claim that Batgirl was unreleasable. That simply wasn't the case with Coyote vs. Acme. But Warner Brothers' proclamation that the filmmakers could take it elsewhere was dubious at best. Back when the announcement was made that the movie wasn't totally dead, a source close to the production remember thinking, maybe they'll try to run out the clock. Throughout the process, Warner Brothers refused to share specific details with the filmmakers about the proposed deals and Warner Brothers' rejection of those deals. Everything was captured through a hazy fog of secondhand phone calls and conversations. There were champions of the project for sure, but they couldn't force Warner Brothers to properly communicate with the filmmakers. And let's stop right there for right now because I just want to talk about this moment. This should tell you that as a filmmaker, you should no longer work with Warner Brothers Discovery. Any filmmaker after this should all just no longer work with Warner Brothers Discovery anymore. They should all just say, okay, you know what? Clearly they don't respect us as people. They don't respect what we do. They don't respect us as filmmakers either. So we're leaving. We're just gonna go away. So hold on just a quick second. But yes. Warner Brothers Discovery literally was barely even communicating with the filmmakers. One second. They were barely, and actually, just very quick. Is the music fine? Is it too loud? Are you guys able to hear me perfectly? I'm just wanting to make sure because they're kind of loud somewhat in my headphones. So just want to make sure, is the music okay? Is the levels okay? Or should I turn down the audio in the for the music? Just let me know. Cat Fox says music is fine. All right. Okay. The music is good. Okay, all right. So I'll just wanted to make sure. But yeah, but they weren't even communicating properly with the filmmakers on whether a deal was going to be made or what kind of deals were being proposed or why any of the deals were rejected. They were kind of just leaving the filmmakers in the blank for this. And so that's just like, why would any other filmmaker want to work with Warner Brothers Discovery after this? Like, I don't understand. If I was a filmmaker and hearing the behind the scenes situation on how Warner Brothers Discovery was handling this particular film, I would literally be saying, yeah, I don't want to work with these people anymore. Or I'm definitely not going to be bringing my movie to them. Because this has happened multiple times. Multiple films have been shelved by Warner Brothers Discovery. What makes me think that if I were to pitch them a movie and we were going to start working on it together, what makes me think that my movie is not going to be shelved? You know what I mean? It's like, it just makes, again, it makes no sense. So I really, really do think that the filmmakers really should reconsider ever working with this company, with Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't think they ever should. Until anything changes where David Zaslav is gone or the company is disbanded, it's Warner Brothers now and no longer just Warner Brothers and Discovery. I literally think that every single filmmaker out there should just no longer work with Warner Brothers Discovery at this point. If you want your movie to be seen, don't work with these jokesters. Shoot. Like, my lord, man. Yeah, Blue the Saber-Tooth Rat says, as a beginner animator, I would not waste my time with Warner Brothers Discovery. Good. if you were to happen to make it as a big animator, you know, in the future, and Warner Brothers Discovery is still the same, just avoid them. They don't exist. Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't exist, okay? Kawhi says, here's a life lesson. Don't work on Warner Brothers Discovery when David Zaslav is still CEO. Fully agreed. Fully agreed. The only thing I'm excited about with Warner Brothers Discovery is the James Gunn Superman movie. Yeah, I don't really care that much about superhero films, but we'll see if that movie is even good. I have a friend that does enjoy movies. Like, he's a pretty big movie buff, and I kind of have to wonder what he thinks about the new Superman movie. Is he excited, or what does he think? I'm kind of curious about that. Bingo from Bluey excuse me, Bingo from Bluey fan says, I agree, at least with Paramount, Disney, and Universal, at least your movies and shows will be seen. I mean, they kind of do the same thing, but to a much lesser extent. It's more of a possibility that your movies or shows will be seen with those companies, right? They may still do a couple of write-offs. I think they've done a couple of write-offs, at least Disney has, but barely any, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, with those companies, it's way more possible for your film and your work to be seen. You know what I mean? Not necessarily guaranteed, but it's way more of a possibility than David Zaslav, 100%. Kawhi says, it's best not to write off films and shows just because of money, as they make money. Write-offs lead to losing cash. Literally, because you're only getting about either half or less than half of the money back that's already been invested in this. So it makes no sense. Yes, the previous regime was the one that was basically like spending the money for this movie to be made. But at the same time, it's like the company as a whole should at least try to get like the entirety of the movie's money back. But that's not what they're going to do. And so it's like, whatever. You know what I mean? All right. I think we're just about done with the article. So I'm going to continue. Yeah, we're practically just about done. Okay. Intent to not only offload Coyote Vs Acme, but to make a profit while doing so, the studio insisted on a price tag that would cover negative costs plus what the movie cost the studio and additional fees that Warner Brothers had incurred. Again, they could have done that, but they are wanting to shelve this movie for $35 to $40 million. How is that going to even remotely cover what you guys spent making this film? Again, they put that price tag so it could cover the negative cost plus what the movie cost the studio and additional fees that Warner Brothers had incurred. So how is $40 million or $35 million going to remotely give you any of that? How? It makes no freaking sense. But whatever, that's what they want to do. They made a short-sighted choice based on dismal third-quarter projects, said a source close to the movie, and reversing the decision to cancel Coyote vs. Acme was simply not possible. Now, 90 days later, with the hashtag Save Coyote Vs Acme hashtag still present on social media, it feels like the end of the line for Coyote and all of his Looney Tunes friends, and bearing a similar outpouring of support, or without a big offer in the next few days, that'll be all, folks. So, yeah, we'll see in the next few days if there is at all any sort of offer. And if there isn't, then, well, yeah, the movie is gone. Just like that. So, that's it, essentially. That is literally it when it comes to this story as of right now. Again, we don't know if Warner Brothers Discovery is going to have a deal. I hope one of these studios maybe can possibly say, okay, we'll give them what they want. We'll give them the $80 million, and we'll have the movie and essentially, you know, put it on our streaming service or put it in the theaters. But I don't know. Seems like that's not something they really are interested in doing whatsoever for whatever stupid reason. I don't necessarily understand that, but yeah, like Bingo says, I find it funny that the Warner Brothers merger with AT&T didn't do well. Like, didn't they even learn from the worst merger in history with AOL? I guess they didn't. But you know what? It's Hollywood. Does anything in Hollywood or in big tech make sense anymore? Nowadays, I don't think so. Kelvin says Warner Brothers is making worse decisions than Disney. Absolutely. At least Disney can be saved. I don't think Warner Brothers Discovery can be saved at this point. I don't know if there's literally anything that they can do to save them. I don't think so. Like, legit, I don't think so. Yeah, so how are they going to save for a $70 million budget? Right, that was literally how much, I think around like $70 million to make the Coyote versus Acme. And they are more than willing to only get $40 million back from that. I don't understand the economics or the financial, like, thinking behind that. I don't get it. I just don't necessarily understand it. Kawaii says, no wonder Warner Brothers Discovery had a bad 100th anniversary. Yeah, Disney's 100th anniversary wasn't the greatest either. But I think they did better still. But Warner Brothers Discovery, not great. 100% not great at all. Let's see here. Okay, so I am caught up. Kawaii says, I feel bad for those that worked on the film just for this to happen again. Right. Like, it's what's kind of cruel about this is the fact that they literally got our hopes up once again. You know what I mean? I mean, look, was there a possibility that one of the streamers were not going to end up finding this film? Yeah, there was definitely a possibility. But, like, for one, to hear the fact that the other studios can't even counter offer, you know what I mean? Like, they can't even put up another offer on the film. They can't even, like, I find that to be incredibly freaking ludicrous, you know? And again, it's just a shame. It's crazy that they took the steps to make it seem as though, oh guys, no, we're reversing this decision. We're not gonna put it on the shelves, guys. We're actually gonna screen it so these people can see the film and they can potentially buy it. So that got us excited. You know what I mean? And then now they're kind of like, nah, you know, they don't want to give us what we want, so we're gonna most likely shelve it again. And it's just very cruel. You know, the fact that we thought that the movie was going to be saved. We thought that the movie could potentially be bought out by one of these streamers or one of these studios, but it just unfortunately doesn't necessarily seem like that's going to be the case. And so we're literally back to square one, where it might be written off for tax purposes once again. So yeah. So there you go. There you go. That's kind of literally about all I had. We can do a little bit of a Q&A. It's 1:18, so I technically have another hour to go. I don't think I'm going to get an hour, if anything. Cause I don't get an hour. I don't think I'm gonna do an hour because I would like to get me something to eat before I head on off to Disney for the rest of the day. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in the future. But yeah, if Coyote versus Acme is truly written off, then we're literally gonna just have to. Or if it gets written off and it's gone again, I really, 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 really hope that we see a crash and burn situation when it comes to Warner Brothers Discovery. And I'm not saying that just because of this film. I'm just saying that because of all the dumb decisions that Warner Brothers Discovery makes. And they literally just don't. It just needs to. They literally do need to crash and burn. Like, regardless, this company needs to crash and burn. Because they make horrible decisions and dumb decisions. And yeah. Honestly, I'm hoping that when it comes to the earnings call in a couple of weeks, that we just don't hear good things about the company. Oh, we lost billions of dollars from 2023, and we're not looking so good in the rest of 2024, or blah, 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 blah. Like, they don't deserve any good type of press at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they just need to go. Warner Brothers Discovery needs to go, and Zaslav needs to go. The fact that he is a CEO, and mind you, he also gets millions of dollars each year, is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know what else needs to be said in that regard, but it's freaking crazy to me. Hey man, do you think it can be saved? I mean, look, it is a slight possibility. Again, it's a possibility that one of these studios could very well say, all right, you know what? We're going to try to save this movie. We know people want to see this film. We're going to go ahead and save it. We're going to give them the $80 million or $77 million that they're asking for. And blah, 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 blah. We're just going to go there. You never know. You never know. I mean, remember, Disney canceled Nimona. Or I guess that's how you say the name of the movie. I don't know. Do I care? Not really. And Netflix ended up saving the film. So, I mean, I guess there's that. Different situations and whatnot, sure. But yeah, but again, you just never know. I hope that we can get some news that a studio does essentially cough up the money and say, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna buy the movie and we're gonna distribute it. You know, I hope we can get something like that. But who knows? Who knows? You know, I don't want to be pessimistic about it, but again, with Warner Brothers Discovery, you just literally never know what's gonna happen. And yeah, it's the sad reality of it. If anything else, that's kind of just a fact. Bingo says, you know what would be funny is if they filed for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy and all of Cartoon Network properties get owned by Paramount. Would be funny. That would be interesting. The thing is, like, it's like Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery, like that whole like potentiality that they were gonna be merged, like that's not gonna happen. It looks like Skydance may buy. I think it's Skydance might buy Paramount, or I don't know the billionaire's name, but somebody somebody is wanting to potentially purchase Paramount. So Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery, that kind of merger just wouldn't happen. It just, that would not necessarily happen at this point. Excuse me. John Lasseter, not John Lasseter. It's not Sky. Is it Sky? Was it Skydance or was it something else? David. I think it was him. I believe. Let me look that up very quick. I think it was him. No, not. Oh no, that's the CEO of Skydance Media. But was it Skydance Media, or it might have been Paramount merger deals? Because I'm trying to remember if it was. Yeah, I'm not. Excuse me. Let's say sale, I guess. Okay, 3 hours ago. Yeah. Okay, so he says, Bob Bapkish or something hedges on potential sale. Yeah. What? I'm not gonna read that article. Yeah, but there was Byron Allen, I guess. Yeah, Byron Allen has offered $14 billion for the parent of CBS and Paramount Plus. So that would, yeah. So obviously, my point is that like Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount, I don't think that's gonna be happening. But it looks like what could more possibly happen is the sale of Paramount to another company or to somebody. You know what I mean? Like somebody buys out the company or whatever. I think it would be good because Warner Brothers, it was Skydance. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so it would be good because Warner Brothers Discovery merging with Paramount would be a terrible idea. It would literally, I think it would be a terrible idea. I don't think, you know, like, again, just working with Discovery or Warner Brothers Discovery in general, it's just not a good business move. I don't think it's a good business move for anybody right now. You know what I mean? So it's, yeah. Zach says, so Cartoon Network won't end up like Disney Channel where it closed down all over the world. That's not going to happen because Cartoon Network is doing well in other countries from what I've seen. So they're definitely not going to be shutting down Cartoon Network like Disney Channel has been shutting down in other countries. But yeah, so that's not necessarily something that is going to happen. Quiet says, especially with Zaslav still in office, it would have ended up as a disaster, but it is without a doubt unlikely going to happen. Correct. The Random Circus says, I can see A24 replacing Warner as one of the big studios, considering their rise to popularity and the downfall of Warner. That's definitely possible. I don't think I've ever seen a A24 movie, so I can't really say much on that, but I do know how popular of a studio that is right now, and so that's, yeah. Joshua says, if David Zaslav ran Paramount, he would probably write off the Sandy Cheeks movie and Under the Boardwalk. Yeah, it's possible. It is certainly possible that the Sandy Cheeks movie could have gotten written off if it was under David Zaslav. And I'm just going to leave it at that. That's all. I'm just going to leave it at that. That's all I'm necessarily going to say. I do like this music. It's pretty chill. Let's see. Yeah, Kawhi says the reason why Disney Channel got shut down was due to Disney Plus. Yeah, that's true. Disney Plus, it was kind of the reason why a lot of the other stuff has gotten shut down. I don't think we're gonna see it a shutdown in this country, but in the other countries, definitely. Mingo says, didn't the Sandy Cheeks movie get leaked? Yes, it got leaked, and it was basically leaked all over Twitter for a while, and then of course they kind of practically shut that down. So, which is crazy that an entire movie like that could have gotten leaked, you know? Like, I don't know how that even happens. So, and of course, people online are kind of hoping that something like that happens to Coyote versus Acme if the deal doesn't fall through and it gets, like, written off, you know? But, like, It would just, like, if it were to happen, okay, sure, people would be able to see the movie, but it would just suck for, like, all the artists and people who worked on the movie. They wouldn't be able to get residuals from this film. You know what I mean? So it's a massive problem. They also had clips on YouTube. Yeah, I saw one of those clips. And it was about SpongeBob, you know, like, crying about the fact that, like, Bikini Bottom is gone, but then he also makes a comment about, like, oh, and my streaming service, I'm not gonna be able to stream my favorite TV shows and movies anymore. And if that's the kind of humor this movie has, then I already have a bad, like, really bad feeling about this Sandy Cheeks movie. I still want to be, optimistic about it, but, like, that just left a bad taste in my mouth. Because I don't like those kind of jokes. Fairly Odd Parents made a freaking joke about, like, Paramount Plus, or calling it Fairymount Plus. It's a mountain of entertainment, winking at the camera. I hate that. I seriously hate that. Like, oh my god, it's, I don't know how executives think that this is a good move, or like, oh yeah, it's funny. Let's do. I just don't understand it. It's incredibly stupid. Kawhi says, and Fairly Odd Parents was also leaked on that reboot. Right, I forgot about that. Yeah, they well, actually, I don't think the entire episode or pilot episode, I don't think that was GTK says that was just glorified advertisement. Literally, it literally is glorified advertisement, and I hate that they do that. It's infuriating, and it's so stupid. But yeah, what I was saying was that, like, yeah, I think part of the Fairly Odd Parents reboot was leaked, and I did end up seeing that because it was on Twitter, I think, and I think, like, we didn't, yeah. From what I saw, honestly, it didn't look bad. It didn't look bad. Like, in fact, I wasn't even sure, like, the reboot, like, you know, because some people showed, like, a couple, like, pictures from the reboot once before, like, months ago, and I wasn't even sure if that was, like, fully real or whatever, but that leak kind of confirmed it. And again, not gonna lie, didn't really look that bad from, like, the 2 or 3 minutes that I was able to see. You know what I mean? So yeah, the entire show, as far as I know, the entire show hasn't been leaked. Just that pilot episode, I think. So, yeah. And if that's really what the reboot is going to be, I'm interested in seeing more. Hopefully we can hear more about the reboot eventually or whatever. But yeah, we'll see about that, I guess. GTK 474 says SpongeBob is supposed to be timeless. Yeah, even the musical, the SpongeBob musical, is more timeless than that freaking couple of seconds from that Sandy movie. It's just so, I hate the fact that they ended up mentioning, oh, I can't stream my favorite movies on TV anymore. I don't like that kind. I don't like that at all, man. Ice Cream Hero says, SpongeBob talking about streaming services feel out of character. It literally is out of character for him. Typically, the technology in SpongeBob is retro. He still uses VHS tapes. And also, you take a look at the television, the TVs in the show are still like those big, bulky television screens. And they also have, like, the antennas on top. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it literally just needs to, they gotta stay timeless with this kind of stuff, and they don't. So, but yeah, that was just a clip. That was only a clip, so that's all I can really say when it comes to that. Helpful Playlist says meta humor can be good if it's done right. Oh, absolutely, fully agreed with that. Because there's some movies out there that's done meta humor and it's legitimately funny, and then there's others that try and they just completely flop. And yeah, it's when it flops, it's cringeworthy. Definitely very cringeworthy. Emo says Knuckles and the Casa Grande movie. I didn't even know the Casa Grandes was getting a film. Like, I literally had no idea that they were getting a film, so that was a surprise to me. but also Knuckles. I am so excited for this series. It's a 6-episode show. I saw the trailer for it 2 days ago. I think I saw it 2 days. Was it 2 days ago? Yeah, when the trailer was released, I think it was 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? Oh shoot, was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday. Actually, it might have been yesterday. But either way, excuse me. When I saw the trailer, I was hyped for it. Not just because it's gonna be cool to be able to see these characters again and see like where they go with this story for this series, and not only because we get more Sonic the Hedgehog movie franchise style stuff in the year 2024, but look at the animation that was in the trailer for the Knuckles series. Yes, it was yesterday. That's what I thought. I was like 2 days ago yesterday. It was yesterday. Look at the animation. It literally may not be exactly movie quality, but it is incredibly freaking close to the movie quality of the animation that you see in the films. Like, that's for a Paramount Plus series, man. Like literally think about that. For a Paramount Plus series, it looks like it could literally be a film just from the animation alone. And on the characters, on Knuckles and Sonic and Tails. It's crazy how good looking it is. Like, I was blown away. So that gets me incredibly excited. I am looking forward to it. And seriously, I really am, like, I think it comes out, if I can remember, I think it comes out in March, sometime in March, or is it sooner than that? Knuckles. It comes out, Knuckles Paramount Plus. It comes out, yeah, okay, so it comes out in 2 months. So it comes out in April, April 26th. I'm 100% checking that movie out. I mean, it's not a movie, but it's a series. I'm checking out that 6-episode series out because, man, it looks incredible. Again, for a show that is on Paramount Plus, a streaming service, which we know streaming service shows are not bad or anything, but they don't always have the highest quality either, especially when it comes to like shows based off of movies and whatnot. It looks so amazing. I am looking forward to it. I am so excited. And then we get the 3rd Sonic movie coming out later this year. I mean, come on. What else can I say? I'm freaking hyped, okay? Like, after seeing the first 2 Sonic movies, like, I'm hooked on this franchise right now. I'm not even, like, the biggest fan of the original Sonic franchise. Like, not saying I don't like Sonic the Hedgehog or anything, but, you know, I haven't played any of the newer games, because I'm not really anybody that plays a video game nowadays, and, like, any of, like, the series that they had a while ago, I haven't necessarily watched any of those either, but but the Sonic the Hedgehog film franchise, 100% hooked. So I'm definitely looking forward to the 3rd movie coming out, and I'm looking forward to Knuckles coming out as well. That is gonna be freaking awesome. Like, it's a year of Sonic, okay? Like, what else can I say? Virginia Lake, welcome. Hopefully you're able to watch this stream back. I talk about, obviously you can see the title of the stream. I talk about the fact that Warner Brothers Discovery is possibly shelving the movie once again. And also, I'm going to be ending the stream fairly soon because I do want to get me something to eat, but also I'm going to be going over to Disneyland later on today. So that's what my Friday is going to be like. So very excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that fireworks go off tonight. I'm not quite sure because this past week we've had like storms. Like, it's been raining so much just the past week, you know what I mean? Which is kind of a rarity in a way for California, or at least Southern California. So I mean, we are in wintertime, so we do tend to get a lot more rain than usual, of course. So, yeah. But either way, it's been raining so much. And yesterday, when it didn't rain, it was so windy. It was so windy. And it was cold. So, I'm going to be, like, literally I'm gonna be dressing up to prepare for the cold. And it seems like it's not exactly that windy as of right now, and hopefully it stays that way. I'm not exactly quite sure if it's gonna be like that at Disneyland. I hope that is not too windy so the fireworks can still go off. And if not, then it is what it is. At least I'm still there. That's all I can say. Virginia Lake says, I will replay and hope you have a fantastic time at Disneyland. Yeah, I hope I'm definitely gonna have a fantastic time. I always do when I go to Disney. You know what I mean? I can't say I've had a bad time. The only time I've had a bad time at Disney was when I literally had like a headache. Like I ended up getting a headache and I forgot to bring any headache relief or Tylenol. Because sometimes I don't drink too much water. Like sometimes I don't drink a lot of water throughout the day and then I'll get a headache. And then I'll tend to take some Tylenol or some like headache relief at like that I get at Target and the headache's gone. I was able to get some stuff because they do have like they do have a facility at both Disneyland and California Adventure where you can get like some sort of like aspirin or whatever, and those helped a little bit, but I still ended up having like a headache throughout that day. And so the day was okay, you know what I mean? But it wasn't terrible, but it was okay. But you know, I always kind of prepare for the potentiality that when I am there, I might have a headache if I didn't drink enough water or whatever. I should be fine, but I always take some just in case. Or bring some just in case, so I don't have a headache while I'm there. Because having a headache at a park, especially when you're wanting to ride rides and whatnot, it's not fun. It's just not fun. Virginia Lake says, crazy weather, beanie, and scarf. Yeah, I did, excuse me, I did recently get my hair cut. Well, I cut my own hair now, but I recently cut my hair like last Saturday, or was it last Friday? Don't really remember, but it was last weekend, and I have been 100% feeling the cold on my head because I cut my hair a little bit shorter than I was I wanted to cut it this low, but when I went outside and feeling like the cold and it's kind of the wind kind of just blowing on my head, I'm like, I made a terrible mistake. I should have cut it a little, like, I shouldn't have cut it as short as I did. And so it's like, yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, so for me it's like, yeah. So I'm definitely bringing a beanie. And I'm bringing like I think I'm gonna bring like maybe 2 jackets possibly. Because it's supposed to be like in the 50s, like the high 50s at Disney or whatever. So I definitely need to. I'm not even gonna wear this shirt. I'm gonna put on like a longer sleeve shirt with this, because this is like this is kind of, I don't know exactly what kind of shirt they call this, but it is from like I think 32 degrees. I think it's called 32 degrees or whatever, and it does kind of help you stay warm in cold conditions in some ways. And so I'm gonna be putting on another shirt over this, so I can at the very least have some more layers to protect me from the cold. So yeah, so I'm prepared for that. Excuse me. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Yeah, but yeah, okay, so it is 1:41. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end the stream. For Art Style 101 says the Megamind sequel is gonna suck. I think I talked about the Megamind sequel in the last stream that I did. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember if I did or if I didn't. But yeah, it doesn't really look great. You know what I mean? Like the animation doesn't look that great either. And it just seems, I don't know. I feel like it's a little too late to be doing a Megamind sequel and series. Like, I think it should have happened much sooner than this. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. And Will Ferrell is not voicing the character either, so that's already kind of, like, not exactly great. But, I mean, understandable-ish, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? But, yeah, again, I think I am going to be getting ready to end this stream. I am hungry, and I'm gonna be trying to leave roughly in about like maybe 30 minutes or so. Again, just so I can mainly beat traffic, because I don't want to I don't want to be dealing with traffic when I get to Disney. I mean, if I do, I'll get there eventually. Ooh, and the wind kind of has picked up. Okay, no fireworks tonight. I'm just gonna. Well, you know, let me not jinx it. Okay, let me not jinx it. All right, it's windy now, but it could stop later on. And I'm in a different location as well, so like, who knows what it's like at Disneyland right now. But yeah, but excuse me, but yeah, Ozzy All says, yeah, it's LA, it always gets traffic, you know. And that's the thing, right? Like, when I go down to Disney, like, it's not always really backed up traffic. It's just obviously when people get out of work or they're trying to pick up their kids and yada yada yada, of course, you know what I mean? Like, it it does kind of get a little bit more backed up. But again, it's more so like when I leave the house and if it's like no traffic, 30 minutes is how much I'm expected to drive down there. If I am in a little bit of traffic, it usually is probably going to be like 45 minutes and maybe 55 minutes. You know what I mean? So there's that. But yeah, I tend to try to get there, you know, or go when it's not too much people. Especially considering that this is Super Bowl weekend. So I'm not exactly sure how today is going to be. Shouldn't be too bad, but you never know. You never know. I'm a key holder there now, so I could just walk around the park, hang around, and be just as happy. You know what I mean? I don't have to ride all of the rides, but, you know, yeah. Okay. Kauai. I mean, not Kauai. Virgin Lake says, say hi to Mickey and Minnie for me. I definitely will. Hopefully they're going to be on the train station, because they do that sometimes during the nighttime. But yeah, I will definitely be saying hi to them for you 100%. I hope to see Chip and Dale today. I hope I do. And I may park up to California Adventure for a little spell. I don't know. We'll see. But yes. My Shay says, all right, man. Hope you have a great day. Thank you very much. I really do hope I have a good time as well. I'm not going to be doing a vlog on that. I think if I go next week or in 2 weeks, I might do another vlog or something. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. Channel 4 Kids says Cartoon Network might shut down America, and Kawaii says not as of now. Cartoon Network is Cartoonito is still not planning to be gone. Yeah, again, I'm not 100% sure either what's going on with Cartoonito. I'll make a video in a couple of weeks, and this is after we see whether We Baby Bears truly took over the 8:30 time slot and it's Cartoon Network, or if it's still considered to be Cartoonito and they're just now having We Baby Bears be a Cartoonito show. You know what I mean? I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. Gillian says, do you wish for the drama to end for good this year? I hope so. I know it's not gonna happen, but I would love to have a drama-free year. Virginia Lake says, safe drive, have fun, and see you at Speculation Sunday. Definitely see you there. If it happens on Sunday, he could be watching the Super Bowl. Might be Monday. But either way, I'll see you on that stream. And Kelvin says, hope you have a good evening. Thank you very much. I hope every single one of you guys have a good rest of your day, good evening, and everything. And hopefully you guys have a good weekend as well. And if you're watching the Super Bowl, hopefully you guys have fun watching the Super Bowl. And also, have as much wings as your heart desires, if you can, all right? Because I want to be able to get as good amount of wings as possible. Oh. Okay. That is my cue to go. You guys may not have necessarily seen that. We just had a little bit of an earthquake. I just felt the house shake. We just had a little bit of an earthquake right now. Whew, okay. So, yeah, I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to leave. I'm a little scared now, okay? I'm hoping that was it, because I do not like being upstairs when we have an earthquake. That first time ever had an earthquake on stream, and that Kawaii Life Antonio says I kind of felt that too. Christ. Where Kawaii... If you don't mind me asking, like, what part of... I guess you live in California. What part of California do you live in? Because if you felt that, then that... Yeah, that was... I'm shaking just a little bit right now. I'm going to look that up right now. But, yeah, I'm probably going to get out of here. And I might want to step out of the house just for a little bit. So... Yeah. So, okay, all right, so it was a magnitude 4.7 earthquake, 7 miles from Thousand Oaks, California. Christ. So it was, so yeah, so I definitely felt that. It wasn't necessarily that bad, though, but I definitely felt that, and that I'm kind of freaking out just a little bit. But anyway, thank you guys so much for, Virginia Lake says, oh my gosh, Josh, stay safe. Yeah, I'm hoping that's all we get. Yeah. So again, thank you guys so much for joining in this stream. Kawaii says stay safe, and okay, so you do live in Southern California, so you most likely did feel that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching in this stream. I hope you guys again have a good rest of your weekend. Hopefully you're watching the Super Bowl. And again, as I was saying before I was interrupted by the earthquake, hopefully you get as good amount of wings as you possibly can. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. Channel 4 Kids, Kawaii Life Antonio, Fur Art Style, Gillian, be wary of turbulence. Yeah, 100%. Kawaii, Kelvin, GTK474, Virginia Lake, Aussie All, Tabaluga Dragon, Meshe, and I think that is Zach History Knows, Cartoon Fan, and I think that is about it. Thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. Have a good weekend, everybody. I'm gonna try to stay safe, and hopefully there is not another rumbling today. Please not today. Not today. But anyway, take care, Joshua, okay? I will. I 100% will. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I will see you guys next time, hopefully with another video. And, yeah, don't forget, you are hearing it from a regular bunny in a regular world. Peace out. And until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.